All right, guys, welcome back. So today's video is going to be a little bit different. I wanted to take you through the thought and design process that I do and the various prototypes until I figure out, and the mistakes that I make too, until I figure out the end result. So I wanted to build something that's going to hold this ring magnet for the new vertical rotor system. As I explained in the last video, I'm going to have two of these separated by some distance, and then smaller barrel magnets on some sort of a rod so that I could try to build a truly fully maglev where it's not touching anything. So the first thing I did was I went back to the drawing board or to my CAD program to see if I could find the original file for this bearing holder, and I couldn't. I must have deleted it. So that means I had to start from scratch. So the first thing I have to do is build test units to see what size, and I'm printing these at, I'm printing these at 2.0, so it's considered a decent print quality. So I printed this little cup which holds the magnet, and that tells me that I made the ID of this cup the right size. So then I moved over to printing an actual base unit. Okay. And I printed this, and then I realized that you can see there the magnet is down below the top there, which is no good. So I had to reprint it into one that this lip is a little bit lower. But before I did that, I thought, wait a minute, instead of doing that, why don't I try to capture the magnet on the inside? So I printed something like this so I could put the magnet on like that. I thought that's probably a better idea. And then I thought about printing a cover for it, which would kind of hold it in place. And then I thought, wait a minute, let me print something that can go down inside of it like that. And of course, I would print a bigger one like this one here that has that internal lip. Oh, actually, that's not it. It's this one here. And then I would drill holes in this to match those holes. And then I realized, oh shit, I can't do that because I'm making the internal hole too small for the rod and the barrel magnet. And I had tried all kinds of different internal ones just to get the right size. Oh, let me get this off here. Come on. So then I had to go back to the drawing board, and I had printed several of these that go on the inside, and I thought, no, that's no good. I can't do that. So then, and I even I printed a couple of these. In doing so, I also printed out another cup holder that has a bigger hole because I knew I was definitely going to have a bigger hole. So then I had to go back to the drawing board, and I printed out a new one of these, this time with it being very level. And I printed out a couple of these, and then I wanted to print out something that's going to sit over the top of it with the same hole pattern, excuse me, that would capture the magnet, and then I could screw it to the acrylic housing. And then the last piece I decided to do was I wanted to make a cover for this, but I wanted to really capture it so that there'd be no mistake in how I put it on, and you can see the holes line up perfectly. So I made another prototype with a lip that went around the outside that actually goes around the outside of this. And the whole time I had to think about the spacing so that the screws can go through. And then I realized, wait a minute, because I was thinking I wouldn't be able to get, because normally when I bolt this down, I put the bolt through there, or I put the bolt through there, and then I have the nut. I have to worry about how close it is to this internal lip. And I was worrying about the same thing here. And then I realized, no, wait a minute. I'm going to be screwing it from the back here and from this top lip here, or this top lid or cover, I call it. So this captures it perfectly. I can put the screws in there. I don't have to worry about the nut hitting this flange area here. So yeah, that's the kind of design process I go through when I'm going to make something. I come up with a lot of different prototypes. I print them out. Most of the time I'll print them out at like 0.28, which is a really rough print, but I knew I was going to have to do this in 0.20 because I wanted a nice fit, and I wanted to be able to replicate the dimension here accurately. And when you do it with a rough print, it doesn't always come out. So yeah, I experimented with little caps that would just go over. Oops, this is back when I was doing, no, this is back when I was doing this one, I think. I was going to put like a cap over it like this, but you know, none of that stuff made any sense after I printed it out. Come on, come on, come on. So yeah, so the final one is this one where the magnet is nice and flush with the top, and then this lip cover that goes over that. And so that's the final one. And then I realized, wait a minute, if I mount these magnets up like this, I'm going to be pushing this way and pushing that way, and then there'll be a magnet at the bottom and then one at the top, balancing this rod in such a way where if I just mount this guy like this and maybe put a little bit of glue in there so that the magnet doesn't fall out, because I hate having to glue things in because then it's a pain in the ass. So I didn't want, which was the whole reason why I made this sandwich, so that I didn't have to deal with the glue. And I'm still probably going to do it this way because I don't like gluing magnets in. But I thought if I did it like this, I'm going to be pushing against this magnet. Oh, sorry. I'm going to be pushing against this magnet. So I really don't need a top plate or a top cover. But as I said earlier, I don't like gluing in the magnets. So yeah, this all took probably like half a day on and off. I use Fusion 360 because it's easy. I was able to teach myself the software. The stuff I'm doing is not earth-shattering, you know, super hard. But it works. So yeah. And that's all going to be for this guy. If you saw the last video, I'm going to be making, and actually I've got, so this is only like 25 millimeters clearance. I really want more clearance. I want at least an inch. Oh, actually this is 20 millimeters. I want at least an inch, which is I think 25 millimeters, because it just gives me more play, and I can use the larger barrel magnets for it. I mean, I can still do it with this one here, But anyway, I just kind of wanted to take you through the design process of the prototyping and the failures and the mistakes and the gotchas and the whole 9 yards. Anyway, let me get back to the printer because I have to print out another one of these. I think I have the two bases. Yeah, I think I have the two bases. I think this one is level. Yeah. So I have the two bases, which I can set off to the side. I just need to print out another one of these. And then I have to print out the holder for the two repelling magnets, the one that's going to go down here. And I realize that I'm going to need one on top as well. All right. Thanks for watching. Ciao.